Jameis again.
Oh, what a sack.
And the Falcons get there for the sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando.
All right, we've reached halftime of this game. Week 1 in the NFL regular season here. Saints at Falcons.
We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season.
Let's see what the halftime report is about.
First trip around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And they have the lead in that one.
I seriously thought they would show highlights, but wishful thinking, right?
Ross St. Brown, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting 49ers. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And they didn't get a whole lot done in the rushing department in those first 2 quarters. They probably feel pretty lucky to be tied here at halftime. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, here's a look at their numbers throwing the football in what was a very even first half. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, you have your focus or whatever you can set.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's
All right,
closely fought battle.
picking off for the second half here. Falcons receiving the ball. Let's see what we can do in the second half.
Kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Ready?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be in.
That's a bummer.
And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill,
Falcons' first round pick, Drake London.
Now, the incompletion will take
Matt Ryan retired. No, the Falcons traded him to the Indianapolis Colts.
This guy's on fire. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off.
Yep.
After about
Well,
3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards
a shame for whom.
Now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
David Onyemata there on the tackle.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him.
The Colts.
It's a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
It'll go down as a gain of 6.
We'll go for it again.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks, don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And intercepted. Well, boo.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid. The reason that they drafted him and go out and play.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones.
Oh, wow. What a tackle.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown,
Wow.
New Orleans. Tony Jones, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints have taken the lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half.
What kind of tackle was that?
Occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take
What's the rating of this game? 0.
In the second half, that got done.
Trash.
Look to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Been a little bit of an interesting start.
I'd rather play Gran Turismo 7.
They had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
What? Wow.
And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost.
Well, at least we're playing like the Falcons.
But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, what a terrible throw.
Is incomplete.
Man.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this
That is a Poggers for real.
He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
As far as you can punt?
Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Yep. That's how this game is going.
1st down, Winston. And that's caught by Zigbo. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right in a yard. From the 39, Winston. Got a man.
What? Oh my God.
Touchdown.
Man.
Deontay Hardy, 39 yards. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
What was he doing?
But in main coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head
Also, FYI, we are playing on All-Madden difficulty.
he just takes off.
So there's that.
I think that's what we just saw there.
Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing up first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On play action, they'll throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Yeah, the difficulty isn't going to make the game better.
Right up the gut. Gets in there.
Especially this team.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times we talk about coverage.
They're telling us to go for it.
Running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to back.
Into a sea of defenders.
Oh, that's our punt.
Marcus May with a pick, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Following the interception, Winston. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. A second down throw for Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it.
Out of bounds.
According to the headlinesman, incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. On third down, Winston. Pressure.
Oh, we sacked him? What?
Give the sack to
Holy
He seemed to have a reasonable
wow.
time in the pocket.
We forced a punt? Oh my God.
Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll set up a throw. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he is going to lose yardage here.
That's a bummer.
It's a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
What a bump on that route.
Here by Pitts. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back.
Okay, ready?
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion. So I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish.
And we dropped it.
Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Back to throw again. He's got Ferkser, and they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Finding Edwards, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down.
Luckily, it was just a bat away.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Wow.
This is intercepted, and that should do it.
Yeah, that should do it.
Johnson with a pick, and the Saints are going to take over at their own 41. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap.
Oh, that's not pass interference.
Tremendous performance.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
All right, the final play of the game here.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The 2nd down.
Time to uninstall. Not yet.
Just a gain of 1 there.
Oh, that was our first game of the season here. Very accurate. The Falcons will lose this game in real life. So, yeah, the score is believable as well.
1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for New Orleans, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on
AJ Terrell cannot believe it.
Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A.
But yeah, that was our franchise game here.